This is part one of a three-part tutorial for Moon River as written in the Ukulele 365-day book. So when you master part one, you can move on to the next parts. For purposes of these lessons, I'm still getting used to it, so sorry if I make a mistake occasionally. I would like to try to use the system that Jake Shimabukuro teaches in his master class, where we look at the strings as floors in a building. So the A string, the string at the bottom here, we will call it the first floor. So then second, third, fourth, so forth. And then the frets we'll view as rooms on each floor. So floor one, room one would be right there. Floor one, room three, C chord. And so on and so forth. So room one, second floor would be here. Third floor, room one would be here. And fourth floor, room one would be here. And so on and so forth. Okay, so the hardest part of part one, Moon River, is mastering the B minor, let me see, what is it called? B minor 7 flat 5. And so that I don't have to keep looking at the music so that I can say that chord, I will just call it the fancy B minor for the rest of this lesson. Okay, the B minor 7 flat 5 is the fancy B minor. Okay, so this chord, I think you all know how to play a D minor. So if you had a D minor and then added your pinky on the first floor, second room, you create the fancy B minor. And you have a lot of fingers crowded in that one room. So middle finger on the fourth floor, index finger on the third floor, and pinky on the first floor, all in room 2. Okay, and then you would add your index finger to the second floor, room 1. So that is our fancy B minor. Since you have so many fingers crowded, it might help to sort of bring your elbow out just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit to sort of get your hand to, your fingers to pivot down. Otherwise, you're going to be touching strings that you don't want to be touching. Okay. So in the song, you have to go from a C, right, into a fancy B minor. And I would recommend first that you highlight the C that comes before the fancy B minor to sort of give yourself a heads up that your difficult chord is coming up, 1. And 2, I would recommend that you play that C with your pinky. I think most of us tend to play it with our ring finger or our middle finger. Okay, when you come to that transition, you want to play the C with your pinky, then you can slide it down 1. Okay, so you're at the C, you slide it down from room 3 to room 2. And then as you slide this down, you then place your other 3 fingers in the D minor formation. And just practice it very slowly. C and slide down. And do that a couple of times. And your fingers are very crowded, so make sure that they're not touching, I guess this second floor is the one that you want to make sure you don't touch, because that's the only one that's not on in room 2. Okay, so C and then slide down. C, slide down. And if you do this, a dozen times, and then play your song, you'll start getting better at it. And I would recommend, spending a couple of minutes every day just trying to go from here to here. All right, so from that fancy B minor, we then go into an E7. And the nice thing is that your ring finger and your pinky are already in position, right? So you're in the fancy B minor. And so just lift your middle and your index, right? And then place your index on the 4th floor, 1st room. Okay, so you don't have to do a lot of shifting around, just, oops. And lift and replace. Oops, my finger keeps coming up. Okay, so that you know more specifically what I'm talking about, it would be moon river wider than a mile, I'm crossing you. And this is where you have your highlights, so you're going to put your pinky down for the C. Style someday. Okay, so you crossing you in style, crossing you in style. Now you're on the C. Someday. All right, and just focus on that first part of the song. Go from your C to your fancy B minor to your E7. Okay, so we'll start out C, A minor, F, C, F. Okay, now you play the C with your pinky and slide down and all right, let's do that one more time. Hopefully by now you've memorized when to put your pinky, but again, if you're looking at your music, all you have to do is say pinky here. Moon river wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Okay, so when you've mastered that, come back for part 2.